James Walkup, and thank you so much for scheduling a call with me about investing in here in Memphis, Tennessee. So, a lot of people ask, James, why Memphis? What's the big buzz in Memphis, Tennessee? So I'm going to go through a couple of those things that will help prepare for our call and best utilize our time together. I want to start by showing this. Only 3% of single family homes nationwide are owned by institutional owners like Wall Street, the big boys. And so that's information from 2022. However, we're going to see a big shift in the near future. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, who own 88% of the S&P, by the way, have stated that they will own 60% of those homes by 2030. So only 7-year period. Today's 2023, January of 2023. These guys are going to buy a lot of single family homes, and that's our opportunity to have our little piece of the pie and own rental properties here in Memphis. So there's 290,000 housing units in Memphis, and 53% of those are rentals. Now, that's one reason so many people come to Memphis, because of the huge demand for quality rental homes. There's plenty of rental houses in Memphis, but I go into rental properties on a weekly basis. I'm there to buy them, and they're deplorable. The condition some people are living in, black mold, leaking roofs, air conditioners and heaters that are on the blitz all the time. So when we're able to acquire a home like that, renovate it fully, and have a turnkey property or a stabilized property that you don't have to band-aid every month with a $500 repair here and there, takes away all your cash flow, doesn't keep residents long-term. With our strategy of buy, renovate fully, sell, and then manage those properties, the turnkey approach, we've had a lot of success in Memphis. So we offer everything under one roof that you, a diligent investor, needs to succeed. If most of our investors don't live in Memphis, but I have several that do. If you didn't live in Memphis, or you don't plan to live in Memphis, you would need to have a successful real estate investment company, which is what you're wanting to do in most cases while you're watching this video. You would need to hire an acquisitions team. You would need a renovations team that you could trust and that would jump when you say jump. They would also need to be able to handle your repairs. You would need a team for selling properties, because sometimes when we accumulate a portfolio, there's a need to sell them at some point. Maybe upgrade that property, or maybe it's just the one that's not performing. You would need unbelievable property management that's going to handle the accounting, your tenants, your taxes, your toilets, all the things you can think of. That's where it happens or it doesn't, your cash flow. Because great property management is the foundation of whether or not you're going to make money. That's why I named it Foundation Property Management. All right, so everything under one roof that an investor needs to succeed. My first-time investors who are buying their first property, and I've worked with hedge funds that buy hundreds of properties. We've got it all. So our acquisitions is iBuyYourHouse.com. I've got my bald head on billboards around town. Every realtor in town I have a relationship with. A lot of them a good relationship, and I buy a lot of houses through my realtor friends who, send me the hoarder house, or the house that's, going through the divorce and the people know it needs $30,000 worth of work. Bring investors to town annually, but weekly we have somebody in the office. Somebody's coming to Memphis to, check on their portfolio that we've helped them grow, or they're just getting started. And every year we have this bus tour where up to 50 investors can fit on the bus, and we go around different neighborhoods and see houses in different stages. We see houses built to rent. We see houses under construction. We might go through a hoarder house on this, but the point is to get out and learn Memphis geographically and identify the areas that you want to invest in. It's our job to fulfill your desires and identify the areas you want to stay away from. So if you haven't ever been on our bus tour, you want to come, reach out to me and the team. We'd love to have you. Why are so many people buying rental houses? Well, a lot of people are working with 1031 exchanges, or the Fannie Mae Freddie Mac golden tickets, where you have a 30-year fixed interest rate. My friends in other countries, just Canada or Israel, Australia, they aren't as blessed as most Americans who can get Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac up to 10, what I call golden tickets. If you want to know more about that, I've got videos that will link to this. Preservation of wealth. So instead of putting $100,000 that you're not going to spend on a new sports car or some liability, just put it in something safe, like a couple of rental properties in Memphis, Tennessee, with some leverage or cash, buy one, and 20 years later, it's good money spent. A portion of their retirement, I wouldn't say many of my clients have all of their retirement with me, but I'm a good portion of a lot of your retirements. Tax savings, some people have even tapped into accelerated depreciation, which we could talk about if you have interest. And then there's a huge market. There's a $50 billion market of people with self-directed IRAs. Most of these have come from when someone leaves a company and goes to another company, or maybe they're terminated. Maybe they had a layoff because the company was going through changes. So they have a 401k that they can roll into a self-directed IRA. And one of the most popular avenues there is investing in real estate with your self-direction. Our average investor owns less than 20 doors. So, we don't have, by design, several clients with hundreds of doors that we manage, because we are a group that have all come together and built this, our own portfolios in different sizes. Some people have 1 or 2 houses. Most people have 6 to 20 houses. So that's who our ideal client is. Our ideal client is usually out of state, and they're seeking a partner in turnkeyinvest.com and Foundation Property Management who is not a commodity provider. So that you didn't choose us because we were 1% lower on our management fees. You chose us because you want to build a portfolio that produces results and a team that's going to be there for you through the whole process, the ups and downs of owning rental properties, and it's our job to make more ups than downs. I want to work with owners that are growth oriented, meaning they don't want to buy 1 or 2 properties and stop. A lot of our clients have a plan to buy 1 or 2 houses per year until they hit a certain point. And we love digging into that with you guys and knowing what your goals are, because it's our job to be your boots on the ground and fulfill that. And they share our core values. So the core values are simple. Do the right thing, do what you say, grow or die. And it's real easy to know if one of the owners is going to share our core values or not. If they refuse to keep a safe, clean, functional home, that just doesn't align with who we are. So we're not going to pander to our residents, but we are definitely going to make sure that the house is livable. So turnkeyinvest.com gets about 2,000 unique visitors per month. And this website is where my investors go to see the houses that we have built as rentals or the ones that we have for sale. So I don't have a very elaborate system that's going to send you an email alert or a text message when a new property comes online. But if you stay in touch with our sales team, Ryan and his whole team, they will know what you're looking for because you have told us, and be able to, say, hey, I've got this one coming up in Cordova. It has county-only taxes, and it's a 6.3% cash-on-cash return. That clicks most of your boxes. Is this something that you'd like for me to send you more information on? That simple. We don't really sell our houses much here. I'll show you what that process looks like. If there's a house on the website, we usually have several, you can click the button that says View Listing, and that'll open up a unique page to the property and tell you a bit more about it. But if you want to learn even more than just geographically the map and lots of photos, click on the button that says Diligence Vault, and that's going to open up a Google shared folder where I'm going to put in there a property analysis showing what you should expect financially from this property for the next 5 to 15 years. Rentometer shows houses that have actually rented in the immediate proximity to this property, so they're comparable rents. The other place I like to look is Zillow, because Zillow is your competition. You can see other houses that are for rent within the area, and you have the historical data here with Rentometer to say this is actually rented, this happened, this is comparable, and then you have your competition. Someone can have a house on Zillow for $2,100 a month. That doesn't mean it's going to rent. But when the two come together, you have some pretty good data. You have your historical, this is what the house is rented for. You have your comparables, they're within $100 of each other. Now you're gauging the rent properly on a house. All right, so just like the rental, now for buying the house, the property details sheet gives you all the information I have available as a real estate broker in the state of Tennessee and Mississippi. The 3-up report is what you would see from an appraiser. So 3 comparable homes within the same geographical location, age range, bedroom, bathroom range, and square footage range. Then on top of that, is this house fixed up or is it, built in the 70s and hadn't ever been renovated? So trying to get apples to apples, and then price per square foot, and that'll show you where we came up with our price based on rents and historical sales. Next, you have the Turnkey Invest Handbook, and this is just a letter from me and my family, a lot of information about our company and what it's like to work with us, a step-by-step process. Right now, you'd be in the discovery stage where you're discovering, is this the type of company I want to work with? Or these are the type of properties I want to add to a portfolio as part of my retirement. So the Turnkey Invest Handbook, a lot of great information in there. Don't mean to gloss over it, because if you're serious about working with us, you would take the time to go through it. It tells you step by step how we work and what we do. And I've put in there a checklist that I've used for years and years for buying houses. So that's a kind of a free giveaway, but if you're buying houses in Memphis or St. Louis, wherever, that checklist can save you tens of thousands of dollars if you use it when you're buying your next rental property or personal home. And then a sample purchase and sale agreement, because if I was buying something, I would want to read what they're going to ask me to sign. It is a document by the Tennessee Association of Realtors, so it's very boilerplate. And very fair between buyer and seller. So if you have any questions about that, reach out to the team as well. All right, so now you have identified this is a property that you would like to add to your portfolio, and you've gone through the diligence vault and gotten all the information you need there. Maybe you called one of our team members and had a few questions. But now it's time, you want to buy the house. So make an offer. So you click on the button, and we are going to fill out this Google form. And that way I spell your name properly, if you want a middle initial or not, or your LLC that you're going to put this property in. But the big reason is to gather your proper information, so we don't have to go back and forth correcting, spellings of names or addresses. But also because we get multiple offers on all of our houses. And we are going to work with the person who is the best buyer for that house, so existing clients. We want to work with people that are growth-oriented and want to use our process to grow a portfolio of homes. So existing clients always take a first-class seat here. Cash buyers, easy to work with. Don't have to have an appraisal. You can if you want to, though. Buyers using a preferred lender. So if someone's using Bank of America, I can guarantee you I can't get somebody at Bank of America on the phone. But if you're using one of our lenders who are the right people to get you to your goals, where anybody can do your first or one or two rental houses, it's going to take a real Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac person who does this on a daily basis, a turnkey preferred lender. So someone's using a preferred lender is definitely going to take precedent over someone that's not. Buyers who are willing to bring money to the table in the event of a very rare low appraisal. So I had that happen recently. I had a duplex, which is a very hot commodity, as you all know. And one person said, well, look, if there's a low appraisal, I'll pay up to $10,000 over that low appraisal because I really want this duplex. It appraised, didn't have to do that. But we knew up front going into it and not having to have that awkward discussion. That was one of 4 low appraisals in 2023. So buyers who want to use us to manage their properties, of course. It's funny, I've had people that I've never met, and they're on the website. One of the 2,000 people we get, visiting the site. and they say, I want to buy that house that you're building brand new as a rental, James, but I want so and so to manage it. Well, that's not, the very low profit margin houses. I'm building them as great inventory for me to manage. And buyers who want to use our vendors, our insurance company, our termite company, you can use anybody you wish for any of these, and that's fine. I would ask that you would handle the logistics of getting the termite inspector out there, getting the letter to the attorney, and all those things. When we use my termite guy, boom, 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 our process is easy. Doing 200 plus deals a year. We need that systems and processes in place. If you want to use your own termite guy, that's fine. Just please handle all the logistics of getting the letter where it needs to go and storing it for your future needs. And then buyers who have transferred properties to our management company. So I get a lot of people, and maybe they bought 5 or 6 properties at another company, and they're just not getting the type of experience that they were hoping for. And so they decide to have Foundation Property Management become their property manager. And along with that, they asked me to help them buy houses. So they're definitely going to, get top ranking when it comes to, 2 or 3 people want the same house. All right, so Foundation Property Management. It is our job to handle everything on your behalf. You should never have to manage your property manager. So that's marketing the property, as soon as possible. I had a complaint today about someone who's living in one of our rental properties, and someone came by the house and drove by real slow. So they asked them, what can I help you with? They said, well, I'm looking to rent this house. And the lease is up in 2 weeks. There's no sign in the front yard. That's why they were probably driving by slowly. And the current resident was, a little hot. And I was like, well, ma'am, I've got to re-rent this house, and I can't wait until the day you move out to begin marketing it on Zillow or Realtor.com, one of the 50 different websites it's syndicated out to. So properly marketing that property is great photos, great description. Right now we have that property I was telling you about in the coming soon category. It doesn't say for rent, it's coming soon for rent. But getting as many people who are potential residents, their eyes on that property, clicking the little heart on Zillow. It's a daunting task that I enjoy. So we'd spend a lot of time on making sure our online presence is right on point. Resident screening, so we use a third-party company that's very expensive, but we don't mind paying that because we want to know there's been layers of approval. Now we have to give the final approval, and that's all on the website for you to read through and see what our approval process looks like. Rent collection, of course, maintenance of the property, inspections of the property. So many of our owners have told us how much they love our inspection team. So we have field agents who are out doing lots of things. They are changing locks on houses that are going vacant or a new resident's moving in. Signage is always something big. Just driving by a property and putting eyes on it and taking a quick little picture that's archived into our system automatically, time, date, stamp. But they get into these properties on a regular basis, and they make sure that the house is safe, clean, functional, and that the resident is living up to their end of the bargain on that lease. That they aren't smoking in the property, there's not a dog living there that's not on the lease, or a person over the age of 18 that has moved in, but they're not on that lease, parking their car in the yard, or whatever it could be. And they're reporting back to our owners who are saying, wow, for the first time I feel like I have a handle on my portfolio, because not only did you sell it to me, provide good pictures and all that then, but now every 6 months, 6 to 8 months, you're getting in the property and reporting back to me that it is or is not being taken care of. And the rare occasion that it is not being taken care of, then we make the right steps to correct that issue. Evictions, very few of these ever show up. We file a lot of evictions, but less than 1% of our residents are ever evicted from the property. A lot of times you have to file an eviction to show that you're serious, and then they have to pay those fees and catch up on their rent, but very rarely does it go all the way to setting them out on the street and going through a full eviction. And then lastly, legal guidance. We use the best legal firm in town for anything to do with a resident or a lease. Our leases are rock solid because, again, they're on the Tennessee Association Realtor lease. I don't know why more people wouldn't use a lease that is written by a bunch of lawyers for the National Association Realtor, but we do. We have, through all of that, gained a 4.4 Google star review, the highest ranking property manager with, a large number of reviews. There's a few people with 2 reviews. Of course, they have a 4.9. But 716 reviews, a 4.4 rating, because our residents know that we are taking care of them. Now, they know that we're not going to cater to them tearing the house up, and we're firm but fair. But our residents have given us these stars. So if you read through some of the reviews, you'll see it's our residents that are giving us those 4 stars. Now, the reason that's so important to me is I'm going to be successful for you guys long term when we have longer resident stay. When residents stay in your houses and renew their lease, that is when you get cash flow. Not when you buy. It's all about what you buy it for. But if our residents are happy, they're going to renew their lease, and that's where you guys are going to be more successful. That makes us the #1 ranked property manager in Memphis, Tennessee, according to Google reviews, with anybody over 100 reviews. So that's who we are. We have grown from 0 to 1,200 doors. However, that's a very small market share. And our areas of management extend from north in the Brighton, Tennessee area, south all the way down to Atoka. We stop at the river and don't go into West Memphis, but we do go as far out as east as Eads and even one past Brunswick a little bit. So anything within 45 minutes of my office, what we manage. If you've got houses in Memphis and you're not so happy with what you have experienced so far, you would like to speak with us about managing your properties or growing your portfolio, then we would love to talk to you. If you have a house that you need to sell, we're the best in the business about getting top dollar for your rental property, because we've got several methods, whether it's sell it to another investor in town. I've bought some, and that was the best effort, or put it on the MLS. If you go to exit your portfolio or a portion of your portfolio, no one better than Foundation Property Management to sell your rental properties, because I've got 5 great strategies I can share with you that I've used to sell my properties over the past 20 plus years. So if you're interested in that, reach out to the team too. Thank you so much. If you made it this long, then I look forward to talking to you on this call. Bye.